Hello everyone, welcome back to Bombe. I was looking at this puzzle in the last episode. We skipped... Oh, whoops, I slowed things down. We ended up skipping this puzzle because even with the hint... Oh, I'm in the hidden mode, that's what's looking weird here. Give me a different hint this time. So I found out that it doesn't always give you the same hint. This one, like, looks worse? It might not be. It's you know, it requires 5 regions to do anything. Maybe these clues let you deduce a new clue somewhere that you couldn't do with the others it was showing. Anyway, my point is, I was trying to look at... Well, what the fuck? How did I ever get it to give me a region of size 4, then? I thought I had. Here we go. This, I think, is what it gave me before. And we gave up on that, and we moved on to the next level. This one. And I asked for a hint here. And after some refreshing, I got one that I sort of like. And I was able to deduce something from the clues that it left behind, but not what it wanted me to deduce. Oh, that's interesting. I haven't seen this clue before. Come on. Are you really going to make me, like, hide specific regions? Okay. Actually, this is a good clue. Because this is something I thought I had already addressed, but I haven't. And you can see I have the rule up here that I think I should be adjusting. I had this thing about... I think it surely was in the last episode. Where I said if there's, you know... This 2 or more... Sorry, this 2k... Well, there's at least 1 in there. So... It's definitely not 0 plus 2k, it's 2 plus 2k. So there's 2 or more in this region. And we wrote this rule to do that, but it's a little bit too constrained. I should say, I don't care if this region, if the 2k region goes on outside of the 1 or more, or the x or more that's inside it. It still needs to be bigger, and I think this just solves that problem. So is it possible? No, it doesn't solve this. I imagine we're getting similar hints, because there weren't really any x plus 2k clues here at all. Well, there's this one, but we addressed it by just making it be a 1. Is there something I can do here? Must have hidden this 0 or 2. Is that useful somehow? Like knowing these 2 are the same? Surely, if I take this clue out and hide these, it's the same hint, right? Interesting. So there's still something findable, but you can't find anything out about this square. It would have to be one of these 2. So if this were 2, this would be a mine. We'd have a problem with this, right? Because this would force neither of these to be mines. Which would mean this is a mine, but then there's 2 in this region. So I guess in some sense, couldn't you hide that and do something with these 3 regions? Like, I'm not sure about how to generalize this yet, but I think we can say... No. Right. Because when this is 2, I got a contradiction. But only because there was this not 2 here. if I let this be 0, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I should be able to relate the part of this region that's outside of everything else to all of this, right? Like if this says 2, then there's a mine here. What if this says 0? Then there's a mine here, and maybe here. So that doesn't really help. Okay. I thought there might be something on this level once we started fiddling with getting different hints. But all right, let's just move on to something else. We solved one puzzle. Can we get somewhere with this one? I mean, it's a small enough area. I could maybe not ask for a hint. But I'm pretty quick on the hint button these days because even once I've gotten a hint, figuring out like what is important and how to address it and generalize it is plenty difficult for me. Well, this 0, 2, 4 should obviously be gone and replaced with this 0 or 2. The hint will say the same thing, sure. And there's no like clues hidden behind here that are important, right? No, not really. Yeah, the 2 or fewer is already saying everything this says, or this is already covering everything the 2 or fewer says and more. I mean, in some sense, this could also be 2K, right? And all of these could also be 0 or 2s. I don't know if that would help, but it certainly could be true. Because I don't think I have great rules for any of that. I mean, Interesting that there's no, like, 2 or fewers that are interesting. There's this one, that's fine. But shouldn't these be generating, like, 2 or fewers in them? Because there obviously are, right? There's not room for 4. There's only room for 3. So how would I write that rule generally? In an x plus 2k region, where there are at most x plus 3 cells, then it's really, or it's also an x plus 2 plus 2k at most region. That's very specific, right? I want that for like all even numbers, right? If there's an x plus 2k in a region of size 5 plus x, then there's only room for up to 4 more than x in the region. Wait, maybe I can say that by limiting, by putting an x plus 2k on the size of the region? What does it even mean to do that? So I want a rule just for this, where I say if there's x plus 2k in the region size and or in the region label, and the region itself is size x plus 1 plus 2k. What does this mean? Like, can I then just say so what would x here be? X would be 0. This is saying there'd be a 2k region with size 1 plus 2k. So that's true because 3 is 1 plus 2k. So this, my rule would apply in this case. But I guess I want, like, from this, I can't really, this would let me say, oh, the region is at most, like, this is how I could say there's an empty, there's none in here. I think, no, because that wouldn't be true. The region is size 3, which is 1 plus 2k. But the same thing applies if this is a region of size 5, right? Ah, right. Which is good. That is what I wanted, sort of. The point is, the region label has different parity than the region size. So the one thing we can say for sure is that the region is not full, right? The region is not well, shoot, but how do you say that? I want to say that, like, there's an empty one in here somewhere. But I can't, because I can't write, like, not whatever was here. I can't say, like, let this be a variable, and then write not that variable. Well, couldn't I, though? If I added another region constraint, sort of? If I made sure that every x plus 2k region had at least one other region which exactly overlapped it, which I do, but I've been throwing them away. Then I could use the size of that other region, I think. Maybe? Oh, no, maybe not. Because you can't really constrain the size of a sum of overlaps, right? I can say, oh, I want the overlap to be size 5. But I can't say I want these two together to be size 5. You can't do that. Can you? Maybe there's some way with another variable? I don't think so. Like, if I said... like, if I said this were x... Yeah, I don't know. I don't see how I could do that. So, question, why did I think it would be useful? I guess it seems like it would be right to make this a 2 or fewer, right? To put that in as well, because that's useful information. I don't see a specific route to that solving the puzzle, I don't think. I don't know. Let's move on. It solved a puzzle, I think. I was moving so fast I didn't notice. There's only 3 regions. Hint says you don't even need them all, just these 2. I shouldn't have even asked for hint. Let's not look. Okay. I didn't look too much at the hint. What's going on here? Oh, well, that's... Yeah, these 2 are sure interesting, huh? There can't be 2 here. But how do I generalize that? I mean, I guess it starts with making this x plus 2k. Say it has to be contained completely within this, but we don't care if this goes further. And it says x plus 1 or fewer. Then this is really kind of x minus 2 plus 2k. So I think I need to increase all my numbers here by 2 to make that possible. Yeah. So here we're choosing x is 0. Wait, this isn't going to do anything, is it? This is just going to write... Yeah, this is going to do nothing. It'd be helpful if I had something that said 2 plus 2k, I think. Wait, should this be... Well, it's not going to apply here anyway. Yeah, I guess this doesn't say shit. X plus 2k is actually a less constrained clue than X plus N plus 2k, right? Because you could always just like choose a bigger k and get back to this. So I need to actually be putting an at most in here somewhere, right? Did I? Shouldn't this be like X plus 2 plus 2k somewhere? Maybe that's what it says. It's really hard to read. It looks like a 3, but I guess it's 2. To confirm, if I put a 3 in there, it says that's wrong. Okay, good. So it definitely said 2 earlier. Okay. But the point is, we can't even fit... We can't have the n be, or the k here, be even 1. Because then there would have to be... Yeah, so this I can actually just say, I think, that it's just x plus 2, right? Yes, that's better. Except I should be subtracting 2 from all of these. I had this crazy idea. X plus 2k, x plus 1 or less. Yes, okay. I thought I was going to have to subtract 1, 2 somehow, but to shrink it into a smaller x plus 2k pattern. But no, the point is that it's no longer an x plus 2k pattern at all. It's just an x pattern. So this one still doesn't go anywhere because we haven't touched the kinds of clues that this level involves. But we solved a couple more. I don't know. Oh, have I seen this one before? I have, right? We skipped this one. Because I didn't know how to constrain this. Yeah. That's 4 regions. Any chance you could narrow it down a little more? No? Okay. Huh. This 1 or 4? I mean, could it be 4? I think it could. We put a mine here and a mine here. It couldn't be 4. Right? It has to be 1. Because if we get a mine here and a mine here, then this area has to be both 0 and 1. Or sorry, 1 and 2, I guess? This one requires there to be 1 there. This one requires there to be 2 there. So that would be a problem. So this has to be 1. But why? What is the mean, I guess in particular, if it's 1 and the hint is telling us this, then surely these can't be it, and like one of these must be a mine. Interesting that that doesn't show up as a clue. Well, of course. Well, no. Maybe that is what I can derive somehow, is that one of these is a mine from this situation. Well, I guess if I can claim that these two are both non-mines, because making 4 would be impossible, that's the same as claiming these two can't both be mines, because there's at most 1 in the whole region. So I think I should be able to prove a 2 or fewer in this area, which I don't currently have, and seems like it would be useful. Although I'm not sure necessarily how. In fact, maybe it wouldn't be. But like, the reason that these two both being mines is a problem is that it put 2 mines here. So we should be able to, ignoring this region completely, say there can't be 2 mines here. Right? Like, if I just hide this and say, let's look at all 3 of these regions, and there are 1 or fewer mines between here and here. That's correct. Does that get us anywhere with the original setup? And also, have we already determined it? We haven't. Okay. But if we did that, we would instantly get that this region of 4 can't be a region of 4, it must be a region of 1, because there's 1 or fewer. Which seems like it would help? Maybe? I'm not sure, but it would certainly be new information, and that kind of deduction could be useful on a future puzzle, if not this one. So we want to try and generalize this rule and then write it down, right? I assume, furthermore, that we only really care about the 1 or fewer here, right? If I combine all of these, then there's still one or fewer mines in that region, yes. Probably the fact that this is 2 or more is the important thing. But I'm not sure. Because there was the issue that these guys were fighting over this region. One of them needed a mine, the other one needed 2 mines. If they were willing to take 2 or more, then they could just say, fine, have all the mines you want. So I think if I hide this and bring back a 2 or more in the area, where's the one I just hit? It's those 3 here. I bet this is no longer Get out of here. I bet I can no longer say that there's one or fewer between here and here. I can. What if I hid this one as well? And took its 2 or more out? I thought I hid this. Can I now still make that conclusion? It seems hard to me. Get out of here. Why are you still here? I can't. Okay, good. We're getting closer to understanding things here. And if I hide that and bring out a 2 or fewer in its place, is that important, or do we actually need the full 2? Because it sort of makes sense that usually you have alternating regions, like X or less, then Y or more, then Z or less, then Q or more, right? So, get out of here. Why does it keep my old regions even when I hid them and then started trying to add new ones? Could I put, at most, one like this? I could. Okay. So that seems to distill things a bit more. And I think I could replace both of the 2s with X's and still be happy, right? Yes. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I don't think I care about this overlap size at all. Probably not that or that either. This is maybe important? I'm not sure yet. I could just question mark it, but I might want to constrain or generalize the rule in some other way that would be better than putting a question mark here. I'm putting a question mark here prematurely kind of limits what I'm doing. So the size of none of these matters. Okay. This needs to be 0, which I think makes sense. There's no place else to put a mine in this region except for in one of these 2. So can I replace the 1 with a variable? I don't think I can do so just like across the board, right? If I just said Y or fewer, Y or fewer, Y or fewer, I can. Okay. That's cool. Now I feel like there ought to be room to generalize this even more using a 3rd variable, but I'm pretty fuzzy on what the deal would be. By like limiting the size of one of the areas to be size kappa, and then adding kappa to the number of mines in one of the regions? I don't know. Let's put this rule in. It does solve. That's nice. It solved a bunch of these. Not the one at the front here. Not that one that we had already skipped. There's this new one, though. Looks like a nightmare. Any better ideas, Mr. Hint? That's the same idea. Oh, that's interesting. It's saying, oh yeah, you can prove something about this. And then at some point it somehow threw this square away in one of those worlds, didn't it? Ah, okay, I think there's like something kind of funny going on with the hint button, which is that if you run it while refresh regions is in the middle of happening, stuff it's in the middle of can get trashed and then it's lost. Okay, so it doesn't have a great idea here. Do any of these look like they bear simplification? I mean, this is like a 0 or 2, I guess. I don't know what that accomplishes. Well, there's not an actual 3 around here, right? No. Would putting 2 in here be a problem? I don't know. This looks hard. Next level, please. Oh, beautiful. I only need 2 regions to figure something out. Ah. And this is an example of something I could solve by just turning this kind of rule into a parity rule, which I already have handling for, right? I mean, not turning it into, but like adding a parity rule. Because then I'll know there's an even region inside an odd region, and therefore this has to be odd as well. So I think we can just say there's x or x plus 2. Then the region has also parity x. That rule exists. I trashed it. Okay, well, don't do that. Because I have rules that care about parity. Let's just make it invisible instead. So now there are, I think, 3 in this area that we've skipped, right? Or is this one new? No, this one is not new. So we've kind of skipped all 3 of these intentionally and said, I don't know what to do with them right now. But it would be interesting to see how much more of this we could grind through with our new rules. It's solving quite a lot. Wow. Okay, maybe not this one, huh? It looks very sad. We probably don't need 876 regions. This is surely catching up to our regular mode save now, right? We can, one of the other cool things... Oh, I mentioned that, there were levels that nobody had ever solved, that were not known to be solvable with the game's current rule set. There's no way to do it even with 4 regions that anyone has found. And so yeah, you can just see some. There they are. That's you can look at this as you're going through instead of looking at the levels themselves and get some idea of like, are you solving... The ones we're getting stuck on look like the very hard ones, at least. But it's hard to tell. If I'm ever the first one, unlikely as it seems, to solve one of these levels, I don't know. I don't think I'll notice. Hopefully somebody else is looking at that. Charlie, I assume he has that data somewhere. When a level goes from 0 solves to 1 solve, I assume it plays the Final Fantasy VII victory music in his office. That's obviously unlikely. It's a lot of automation for something rather uncommon. But I assume he can just like check every so often and is interested in that sort of thing. But how would I know, right? If I look at one of these and the solve rate is 0.1 and I've solved it, does that mean I'm the first? No. I don't know how many people have played this, but like a decent number. In principle, all of these fractions have some greatest common denominator or least common multiple or something that's like, you know, probably how many people have played the game. But I don't know how to find that shit. Okay, so now that we've seen like how it does with the hexes, I'm gonna run the rest off camera, and I guess catch up with you guys and go hunting for new kinds of rules to write again. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.